Rock History Music, and we're back with, well, first of all, we just talked about Danny Serafin of Chicago having a heart attack, the original drummer of Chicago, and of course he's okay. And while we were on, a lot of folks were telling us, wait a minute, have you heard Mickey Gilley died? Country music legend has died. He was 86 years old. From his Facebook page, Jeff Wagner, who runs it, said, "It is with great honor to know this. It was a great honor to know this man most of my life. Mickey was a true musical talent who charted 42 singles in the top 40 country charts over a span of 2 decades. The exact circumstances of his death weren't revealed, but he was 86 years old. And of course, the press release also said that he helped put Pasadena on the map because of Urban Cowboy with John Travolta and Deborah Winger, which was such a big movie, and of course Gilley's Club, which ended up being a major tourist attraction. But just to tell you, hi Maria, how are you? Roger R. Look him up. He is a country music superstar, and when we get a huge, even though it's a rock site, when we get somebody so big who contributed so much to a genre, we obviously will come up here. But listen to this just to prove a point on how big Mickey Gilley was. And this is like back in 1974. Had its first single in 68, but it wasn't a hit. And it charted at number 68, interestingly, in 1968. But in 74, he had three number one hits. Room Full of Roses, I Overlooked an Orchid, and City Lights. That's just in one. I mean, how many people can say they've had one number one hit in any kind of genre? In 75, he had another three hits. One of them was an number 11 hit, Bouquet of Roses Again. And Overnight Sensation was a number 7 hit. But crazy. Window Up Above, another number 1 hit. In 76, Don't the Girls All Get Prettier at Closing Time at number 1. Bring It On Home to Me, number 1. Lottie Miss Claudie, number 3. Number set in 1977. She's Pulling Me Back Again. Number 1 hit. Honky Tonk Memories, number 4 hit. And let's remember, he was always in the shadows of his cousin, Jerry Lee Lewis. That was, but when Urban Cowboy came out, people started looking back. And that's what happens when you'll get some kind of milestone, something happens, a fork in the road, something that makes you stop and listen to this person, and you go to yourself, wait a minute, I should be looking more into this artist. But he had hits in the late 70s, My Silver Lining, Just Long Enough to Say Goodbye, the song We Made to Love To. And then in the 80s, it like exploded again. This is like a phenomenon for an artist in any genre. True Love Ways, a number 1 hit. Stand By Me, That's All That Matters. This is on the country charts, though. And some of these were on country charts in the U.S., too, number 1. Lonely Nights, Tears of the Lonely, Put Your Dreams Away, Talk to Me. Look, I mean, this is nuts. Fool for Your Love. And, and of course, the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Urban Cowboy, rather, came out. Rhinestone Cowboy was Glenn Campbell. But it says an awful lot for anyone who's in any genre to have that much success. I mean, it's really crazy. So I would have been, there's no way I could not report on this. And besides, everyone, we were talking about Danny Serafin, the original Chicago drummer. And by the way, he's okay. Had a minor heart attack a couple of weeks ago in April. And his doctor basically told him, take it easy. So Jeff Wagner of the Facebook group basically said, please like our video, by the way, if you're liking our information or our reporting. It was a great honor to know this man most of my life. Mickey was a true musical talent who charted 42 singles in the top 40 country charts over a span of 2 decades. That's crazy. And TMZ is reporting they don't know the cause of death. But again, I'll reiterate, he was 86 years old. And Jeff Wagner also said in the article, past the press release, that Mickey Gilley helped put Pasadena on the map via, of course, Gilley's Club, which became a tourist attraction after that, and Urban Cowboy with John Travolta and Deborah Winger. So may he rest in peace. I'm just going to take some of your comments before we sign off. It never ceases to amaze me, when people leave such an imprint from what they do. And when they pass on, we're given, and it's an unfortunate way, but we're given a way of revisiting the music that this person put out. And I like country music in the 80s. I liked it in the 90s, but then I stopped liking country music. I never bought a lot of country music. It wasn't my thing, but there you go. Let me make sure I have the right one. Maria Day, hi. Hello, Maria. You're always there. We appreciate your support. Roger R. Never heard of him, but again, check him out. Through osmosis, you would have heard some of his songs, no matter what, because country's big, and this channel is more of a North American channel first, and then a European channel after that, because we look at the numbers and we know where they came from. James Morrow, wow, John, we are losing too many so fast. They're at that opportunistic age, unfortunately, right? I hate to say to pass on, but it's true. I've mentioned this before on this channel, but we've just moved last August to a place where half of the people who live in this whole neighborhood, Mountain Woods, in Moncton, New Brunswick, are seniors. And we see them walking all the time because they're seniors and they have to walk. I was mentioning this with the last video, Danny Serafin of Chicago. Again, he's okay. He had a minor heart attack last month. That people walk because they have to. They're looking at the clock and they're going, if I stay still for too long, I'm going to seize up. You don't use it, you lose it. James Bashir, good afternoon, John. Hi, James. Maria Day, shocked. He was a big one. When you consider 42 charted singles on the top 40 country charts in 2 decades, that is monumental. That's crazy. Christopher 628 says, wow. Mike Kaminsky, sad news, epic U.S. country star and business person. Yes, he was. Douglas W. I grew up in Pasadena. I remember when they were in town filming Urban Cowboy. Wow, thanks for sharing that. I love his music, Maria Day. Christopher 628, another legend gone. Well said. I don't know how to say your username. Sad news from Dennis. Hey, Dennis. Tor Porco, Maria Day, howdy. I love when you guys say hi to each other. John Adams had a emoji. Danny Goolsby. Wasn't he related to Jerry Lee Lewis? They were cousins, yeah. And he was in the shadow of Jerry Lee Lewis for quite a few years, but he kind of carved his own place. I mean, Jerry Lee Lewis is a larger than life, part of rock and roll, but they were, James Bashir, they were cousins, yes. Maria Day. I don't know how to say that. Rest in peace, Mickey. Thank you. Pressy. Elton John had 6 comebacks. Okay. James Morrow. I love City Lights. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody ever meet him? James Bashir. Rest in peace, Mickey. James Morrow. I love City Lights. Yes. Snowman. R.I.P. Mickey Gilley. Danny Davidson. Great talent. My favorite Gilley song was a duet with Ray Charles. Ain't Gonna Worry My Mind. Yeah. Sweet Savage, our music heroes are slowly leaving us. So true. And Mickey Gilley, whether you were part of the country world or not, or appreciated it, you heard his music. And the urban, the movie Urban Cowboy, I went to see because I loved John Travolta and loved everything he did. I always wanted to support him. My girlfriend at the time, Deborah Winger, was a big fan of hers, and we loved it. It was fun. Pat Becker. Oh, hold on. James Bashir said, sad, but sometimes when someone passes, we tend to take a minute to reflect back on our lives. Positive and bad. Yeah, you're right. I think I do with a lot of them. People say, well, why do you feel like when you interview all these rock stars? I think I get a bigger jolt of whatever that is when I do a tribute to someone who passes. I mean, there's a sense of responsibility as well, whether I had tons of his music or not, of saying, there was good in what he did, and being related to cousins to Jerry Lee Lewis, being in that movie, taking making good business ideas with Gilley's after they were filming that in Pasadena, Urban Cowboy. It's kind of cool. It became a real tourist attraction. Rockchild in the 60s. This is sad. Mickey was a family friend. This blows. Oh, is that right? Sorry to hear that. Pam Becker. My friends met him at Gilley's during that time and said he was so nice to them. Well, see, thank you for sharing that. That's really nice. By the way, if you like our presentation or what we're doing, please like our video. We'd appreciate that. Tame, I don't know how to say your last name. Gilley's was a country honky tonk heaven back then. Yes? Yeah, a lot of people mention honky tonk. John says, rest in peace, Mickey. My favorite song is Heartache Tomorrow or Heartache Tonight. Canine Companion. Sad he is gone, but what a ride he had. And thank you. Good point for that. Of these artists who really did have good lives. It's not always easy to do, to be in the limelight, because I've said this before. The hardest thing for someone to have sometimes is to get everything they ever wanted. And I'm not saying that, well, I mentioned this during Taylor Hawkins' our video for him, that maybe part of that, I see that in the older rock stars. You go, okay, they're young, they've had troubled lives, some of them, not all of them, and then they get everything they want and they realize they're not any happier. You know, Mickey Gilley, people like that, some of the country artists, you know, they're very traditional in that way. They don't necessarily splurge. I'm really generalizing here, but there's a certain edge. Having maturity, I always say, how do I put this? If I was Justin Bieber, I would be dead, because that would be just too much for me. I don't think I could have handled that kind of fame, and I certainly never will have that kind of stuff. But when you look at Mickey Gilley, you know, having all those number one hits, being more or less kind of a humble guy, taking a real good advantage and making good business decisions with Gilley's Club after Urban Cowboy, making sure that, you know, everyone knew about it at that point. And it was always a place where country music people went anyway. So that says an awful lot about him. And not letting the fact that Jerry Lee Lewis, being his cousin, who was a larger-than-life rock and roll hero, get in his way. So that says something. And, you know, like I'll go through just some of the hits again, just quickly. The number one hits, True Love Ways. No. We're first hit in 68, but that hit, Now I Can Live Again, only reached number 68 at that time. But in 74, Mickey Gilley hit the ground running with a lot of number one hits. He had like 4 in a row. Roomful of Roses, I Overlooked an Orchid, City Lights, and A Window Up Above. Then he had a number 11 hit, and then a number, in 75 and 76, Don't the Girls All Get Prettier at Closing Time? Just, you know, that's just a good country title, right? And Bring It On Home to Me, another number one hit in 77. She's Pulling Me Back Again. And then the 80s hit, like right in the, I mean, he had a lot of hits after that. They were like top 10 hits, a lot of them. Honky Tonk Memories was a number 4 hit. But then all the number ones, which shows when an artist has that many number one hits, you have trust with the artist. Because I always go like some of the Paula Abdul hits that came out, for instance, after the big one, Straight Up. I remember going, if she hadn't had Straight Up, these songs are trash. They're just not very good at all. But that happens sometimes. But with Mickey Gilley, you'll get an artist like this. We'll have so many number one hits right after another. Not number 14. People had trust in him, and he backed it up with a great song. You know, I used to say that labels sometimes there was Elektra at times would have label trust, where people would trust what they came up with. And if they came up with a new artist, you go, well, for me, Elektra was like that, not for everyone. And I would go, yeah, I trust them. In the 80s, True Love Ways, Stand By Me. That's all that matters. This is number one hits. A Headache Tomorrow, or A Headache Tonight. You Don't Know Me, Lonely Nights. And then this is in 82, Put Your Dreams Away, Talk to Me, Fool for Your Love. I mean, and that it's wavered a little bit after that. He never had a number one hit after that, but he had tons of hits on the charts. So again, I'll read the press release. Of course, Facebook's going to knock me out of it. Oh, hold on. Oh, I've got it here. The press release from Jeff Wagner on the Facebook page wrote, "It was a great honor to know this man most of my life. Mickey was a true musical talent who charted 42 singles in the top 40 country charts over the span of 2 decades. But TMZ reported that they don't know the cause of death. But again, I'll say it for the third time, he was 86 years old. Could have been a host of things. Jeff Wagner also points out, this is the third time I say this, sorry for people who've been here since the beginning, that Mickey Gilley put Pasadena on the map on a much larger scale through John Travolta, Deborah Winger, and most notably the movie Urban Cowboy. And then, of course, Gilley's Club became a major tourist attraction. And people wanted to meet him, and he'd be there a lot. And people on this live feed have told us, yeah, I went there, and there he was. And I, met him. So I'll just get to your comments, and then we'll bow out. You can go out and listen to his music. John, yeah, he was a good actor. He did a good job. Okay, let me go back to some of the comments. Here we go. I have to find out where I was. K9 Companion said it best. Sad that he's gone, but what a ride he had. That was the last comment we wrote. And K9, thank you. Fraser J. John, you are a YouTube machine. I don't know how you do it. I just come down. I mean, I'm a broadcaster, so we ad lib, right? That's what we do. I've ad libbed on my show for a lot of years. And I always go, the stuff I do on YouTube is my worst work because I go, and I never do on the radio. I don't know why I do it when I'm on here. I probably feel, I'm my own boss here, so I don't have to worry. Fraser J. John, okay, please like the videos. Yes, thank you. If you would press like, it's not about liking Mickey Gilley died. It's about liking our channel and us giving you the message. Mark Burchett, salutations, John, and rest in peace. Thank you. Rockchild in the 60s. Seems like just 1 week ago, we were here for Naomi. Yeah. James Morrow. I remember seeing my mom sing along with his songs on the radio. Such wonderful memories. Oh, thanks for sharing that. That's cool. Gil wrote, just saw him April 1st with Johnny Lee at River Casino in St. Louis. Thought he couldn't play the piano anymore. He was in good voice and went through different points of his career. Oh, wow. John wrote, he was a good actor too. Yeah, I read that already. Marianne Kennedy. Hi, John, another great musician gone too soon. May he rest in peace. He's gone but not forgotten. Mark, I wonder if he'll haunt his own club. Oh my, a little comedy for a sad moment. There you go. Greg Biggs. Hey, Greg. Howdy from Mississippi. Rest in peace, Mickey. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate that. Rockchild, the 60s. Mickey was a really sweet guy. This is awful, but he had a great life, and I'm sure no regrets at all. Pumpkin King. Old school country music. Well said. Very true. Dwayne. Hello, everyone. Sorry to hear about this. May Mickey rest in peace. Thank you. Eric D. Oh, crap. Mickey was a classic dude. Matthew Fabush. How sad. Me, James, and Joretta saw him 3 years ago at Memphis at the Heartbreak Hotel. He was a great guy with a smile. I was honored to meet the legend of country music. Yeah, thank you. Jerry Lou Lewis was his cousin, Greg. Yeah. Mark Turmel. Yes. His other cousin was Jimmy Swaggart. Wow. Planet 6. Hello. I am Sticky Rick. Okay, then. Alan Bartsness. Rest in peace, Mickey Gilley. Eric D. Rest in peace, Mickey. James Bashir never bought any of his albums. Definitely cranked them up on the radio, though. Oh, thank you. Planet 6. My cousin's name is Mark Burchett. Trolls, I know. Okay, you're blocked. I don't know why people say things about performers when they're dead. I don't understand that kind of. John says the power of positive drinking. Rockchild in the 60s. Yeah, Gilley's was legit Texas honky tonk. Okay, folks. Thank you for all the comments. I appreciate that. May you rest in peace. We've gone through his hits a few times, and he had, like Jeff Wagner wrote, he had 42 singles on the top 40 country charts over the span of 2 decades. That's crazy. That's nutty. Shows you the power of one man and his dedication to his craft and what he did. So, and everyone who had met him on tonight's broadcast basically said he was just a nice guy and accessible. Not all artists are, right? So may you rest in peace. Thank you, everyone who's come on tonight. I appreciate that. We kind of like to come on when something happens and let you talk about the person who passed away. And please like our video and take good care of yourself. Good night, folks.